guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Wanderlost by Jen Malone. First of all, I just want to thank the author so much for sending me a copy of this book to read and review for my channel because I loved it so much, and she also annotated this arc, which made the reading experience 20 billion times better. Having behind the scenes on little sayings or names or whatever, it was just so entertaining and cool, and I wish all copies were annotated. They should just make books where like they're all annotated. That would be like the best thing ever. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. I basically read it in 2 days. I started it one day and read 40 pages, but then I finished it the day after the next day, so technically it was 3 days, but it was really like 2. This book was so addictive and amazing and so well written and so entertaining and fun, and I just, oh my gosh, it's like all my favorite contemporary aspects in one book, and I felt like it was written for me. It was just so good. So I'm going to give you a brief summary of what this book is about and then talk about my thoughts, but then I'm going to get into the spoiler section. So this book is about a 17-year-old girl named Aubrey Sadler. At the beginning of this novel, Aubrey is throwing a party, doing things which she should not be doing, and her sister ends up getting home from college early, her older sister, and so she's there and she crashes the party. She's like, everyone leave, and then the police come and her sister takes the blame for it. So her sister ends up going to jail for like a day and then having this like record of now she's been to jail and all this stuff. So her sister begs Aubrey to make it up to her because this was all her party and it's sort of all Aubrey's fault because she was like kind of watching the whole time and didn't do anything about it. So she makes it up to her and takes this job that her sister had scheduled for the summer. So Aubrey ends up going on a tour through Europe with 6 senior citizens, and she's never been anywhere before. I mean, she's always lived in this small town in Ohio. She's never been out of the state or anything like that, and she's just not wanting to go, and she just is not happy. She thinks of senior citizens as boring old people, and she's just feels like she's gonna have the worst time of her life because she doesn't really want to leave Ohio because she's perfectly happy being in this small little town she always lived in. But of course she goes, and as we are introduced to the 6 senior citizens, you just fall in love with them. They are such great characters, so entertaining to read about, and it teaches Aubrey, and if you're reading the book and you feel that way, that like old people are boring or whatever, it teaches you that like they're just human beings like anyone else who happen to be older than you. They're just like anyone else. They're funny and sarcastic. So Aubrey is on this tour with these senior citizens, and they get about halfway through the tour before there is an accident with one of the senior citizens, and so this boy has to come to help with her, the lady who got injured, and turns out, and this isn't a spoiler, you don't know this, but it's like on the back of the book. So the woman who got injured is actually the tour owner's mother, so she is the grandmother of this boy who comes on the trip because he is the tour owner's son. Are you keeping up? And of course he happens to be 2 years older than Aubrey and very attractive because this is a YA contemporary novel, and when aren't they? So these two fall in love, but there's a twist. This whole trip Aubrey is planning on pretending to be Elizabeth, which is her sister, because she doesn't want her sister to get in trouble for not going on the trip, so she's just pretending to be her, and they're like lying about all this stuff, and a lot of the lessons in this book are about how lying is not a good thing and it will get you into huge messes. So this whole time the tour owner's son, Sam, thinks that it's Elizabeth, and it's a mess and it's craziness, and like you're just dying for her to tell him the truth. Also, there are like Sound of Music references because they like go on a Sound of Music movie tour when they're in Austria, and it's so beautiful. That's what the cover is inspired by, like
the hills are alive with the sound of music. I'm so awkward. Okay, I'm gonna stop singing.
I mean, if you're not intrigued by now, I just don't know how I can grab you more because this book was just so good, and the author is so amazing. She's like the kindest human being ever, and I just love this book so much, and it's like actually my second favorite contemporary I've ever read. Number 1 is The Unexpected Everything because I just loved it so ridiculously much, and I haven't read like a ton of contemporaries. I'm not like a huge contemporary person, but this one, like, the writing was just so entertaining to read. All the characters were so quirky and unique and separate from each other, and just seeing the story develop and the main character change and hearing about the backstory of certain characters, it's just really sad, and just, oh, please read it, please read it, please read it, please read it. So if you haven't read it, I will be linking the book depository link down below so you can go buy it, and on book depository you get free worldwide shipping, so that's awesome, and you can go order it. It's out in paperback. There's no hardcover, but that's totally fine because contemporaries are better to gonna read in paperback anyway. There were just a couple of little comments that were like, I was like a little uncomfortable with them. I mean, it was just like a little thing here and there, and like I can ignore that. It was never too much that I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to stop reading this book, because like it never really escalated at all. I don't know. But yeah, I love this book so much, and I really want to read her other book, which is Map to the Stars. It's only available as ebook, but I don't care. I'm not good at reading ebooks. I just have this weird thing where I can't really read them, but I will force through and I will read Map to the Stars because this author is amazing. So anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you again so much to the author Jen Malone for sending me this arc, because this is like my baby now and I just love it so much. So thank you so much for annotating it for me and everything. I just had so much fun reading it and you are the best. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye!